Rising legend Leon Rogers with me today. Got a good friend of mine, man, Mr. Simeon Henderson. Y'all show him some love. This brother's been doing a lot of work. Actor extraordinaire. He just won for Black and Privilege, Volume 1, the Best Independent Film at the HAPA Awards. That's the Hollywood African Prestigious Awards in L.A. this past weekend. And you've done it all. You've been a police officer.
Oh, man.
You've been a teacher.
Yeah.
Played football, college.
And a little bit of pro.
Yep. Talk about your journey, man. How did you get here to winning awards like the HAPA
They call me Slash.
Okay.
But real quickly, I just want to say big shout out to Mark Harris, who's the writer and director of Black and Privilege.
One of Chicago's finest.
Yep.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Then, all of the cast and crew, great job, man. It was just awesome. But man, I remember growing up, I couldn't read till I was in 6th grade, man, and I was determined not to let someone's opinion become my reality. So every time someone told me what I couldn't do, I was determined to do it. And so henceforth, I wanted to be a teacher and a police officer because I always wanted to help my neighborhood. And I did both and realized I didn't want to be a police officer anymore.
Right.
Shout out to my fraternity brother, Eddie Johnson. But and I started teaching and I stayed in that and now I do the motivational speaking. I'm still in the CTU,
right.
So when they were on strike, I was out there with them, but I was still doing my thing as well.
Gotcha.
But it's just one of those things where I've always wanted to help people. And then I got into the acting. I started at Second City, you know, and now I host a lot of things and do a little comedy, but the acting was something that it helped me because I learned by memorization. So I was like, then I started, you know, I was always a little crazy and always acted a fool. So I figured I'd put it to work and I got my first start working on barbershop, which you was in.
Yeah, shout out 2001.
Sharon King.
Talk about, Sharon King, love her. She did a lot for a lot of careers here in Chicago, her and Mary Lindsay.
Yes.
Talk about Black and Privilege, the movie, the film. What can people expect when they watch this film, which is on Netflix right now, streaming on a lot of platforms, all the platforms.
It was #1. It was the #7 most watched thing on Netflix for like 2 or 3 weeks straight, which is huge because there's a million things on Netflix. Right. And but what they can expect is with Black and Privilege, it talks about Inglewood, and I'm from the West Side. It talks about Inglewood, but it talks about building up your own neighborhoods, redlining and gentrification, and starting your own businesses, policing your own neighborhood, and just showing people how they can get more and do better together. It
also, when I watched the film, it also kind of flip stereotypes a little bit. Talk about that aspect of the movie.
So I played Samad Poole. So I was a bougie brother, but I was from the hood. But so it was like one of those things. It's almost like the have and have-nots, and the classification of
what you should expect when you're living in a certain neighborhood as to what's coming into the neighborhood right now.
And you see people coming into the neighborhood who you don't feel fit the neighborhood. So one or two things are going to happen. Either they're going to conform to the neighborhood and do what we do, or they got to go.
You know what? I think a lot of people always say you have to go to L.A. or New York to make it. I think you, along with Twister, some other guys out here that I know and love, are prime examples of how you can be successful right here in your own city. What has been some of your struggles of coming up right here in Chicago, if any?
So I've had struggles, Leon, but I'm a firm believer in what's for you is for you, and I've always helped people and been there for people, and I believe that my thing is be symbolic, and it means being deeply rooted stimulates growth. I believe it's like seed time and harvest. When you plant the seed and you water and you cultivate it, it has no choice but to grow. And I decided that I was going to do everything I could here and show and just wait my time and be patient. And now that I've waited my time, I've gone out to LA, I've gotten in a union, and I've gone there to do movies and work with big people. Got a movie coming out with Roger Bob, Holiday Heist, this December.
Where can people find you at on Instagram, social media?
Oh, man, at Simeon Henderson, everywhere, S-I-M-E-O-N, Simeon Henderson, a.k.a. Mr. Chicago, or Be Symbolic.
Wonderful show, too, on Facebook, brother.
Thank you. And I got something for you.
Yeah, Be Symbolic, man. Hey, we'll be right back. More later with Leon, my man, Simeon Henderson. Appreciate you, brother, all the time.
Thank you. Love.